All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome into another episode of Baseball and Coffee. What's up, Grounds crew? Everybody in the Grounds crew that's out there. It is 10:32. I had to start the show about half an hour late today because I had to do a whole bunch of stuff this morning because the moment I am done with this, I have to do an MLB Now spot. But the moment I'm done with that, your boy is going to France versus Sweden today at MetLife. So I'm pretty fired up for that World Cup knockout stage. Let's go. And then I just changed my flight to Milwaukee. I'll go tomorrow and we'll do the ESPN game tomorrow night, which will be Brewers Reds from Miller Park. So hope everybody's good. I had a Starbucks earlier and then I just refilled it with my own espresso. So we are cooking with gas. I got a lot of energy today. Hope you guys are good. Ton of people here in the chat. So it's a wonderful thing. Got a couple of topics, couple of people to watch, couple things to do here in the early going. And then, dear John Henry, hello. How are you? And then after that, Nasim Nuñez will join me right at noon today. So that would be great. We'll talk to him for about 25 minutes. While I'm on with him, if you guys want to get into the chat and ask him some questions, that would be helpful. Mostly, I'm probably just going to ask him a little bit about his background and his journey, and then also the Nationals offense that leads the league in runs scored. But if there's anything specific you want me to get into with Nasim, don't be shy. Let it rip. You know what I'm saying? I'm laughing at you, Jane. Sorry. All right. Here we go. Standings today. What is today? June 30th. This is the last day in June. Tomorrow's July, folks. We're getting close to the All-Star game, which means probably our next stream or 2 streams from now, we're going to have to do All-Star reserves. All right? So that's probably what we're going to do next. I'm unboxing a new camera while I'm doing the stream right now. All right, here we go. Tampa Bay, 1.5 up on the Yankees, who all of a sudden stink out of nowhere. They have lost 5 in a row, and Tampa's won 5 in a row. So this completely flipped over this past week. We'll see how it continues to progress, but no bueno for the boys in the pinstripes. Blue Jays did win last night. They gave a nice ovation to Bo Bichette and then beat the Mets 2-1. Orioles, I mean, the thing is, you look at these wild card games, and I'm starting to realize again, like, man, like, I don't know what I was doing burying teams so early. With the American League being what it is, even the National League, I mean, 4.5 games is nothing in last place. And the Red Sox have great pitching, so watch out. Who knows? All it takes is a team to get hot. I'm not saying it's easy to predict who that team's going to be, but any of these AL East teams have it in them. They have components of their roster to get hot. Orioles offense. Blue Jays more of a total team if they click, and then the Red Sox with the pitching. So we'll see. All right, AL Central, White Sox 1 game up on Cleveland. Minnesota, who is right there, 4.5 back, even though they're 4 under 500. They've been kicking around. They haven't been totally buried yet, and I can't totally understand why, because I don't love their roster. But they hold on, I'm just trying to charge my this new camera so I can bring it to the game. It's super small. It's just a point and shoot Sony. Nothing special here. Anyway, I'll deal with that later. It's not the moment. I mean, like, again, like, they're 2 out of the wild card. So even though they're lousy, they think they're in it, and that kind of messes up everything. Detroit, 9 back in the division, 6.5 in the wild card. Kansas City, 10 back. All right, AL West, Rangers have now taken over. They've won 5 in a row. They're playing good right now. They're in Cleveland. Mariners, half game back. Houston, 2 back. A's, 3 back. Angels, 7.5 back. And everybody's fired over there. So, well, not everybody, but obviously they moved on from Perry. Mo's in there. Before the draft, I thought that was interesting. Camera Hall. Yeah, I just needed something, like, small, so I just got one of these. Your standard 4K video, you know. Little flip out screen, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, I have so many cameras right now in here, but it's like I just can't stop buying them. I don't know what's wrong with me. All right. NL East, Atlanta continues to struggle, 49-33, 3-7 in the last 10. Run differentials back down to 88 only. They were at like 150 at one point, so we were in a good spot. 3.5 back is the Phillies. We know that they are hot on the tails. The Marlins have played really good ball. They're 8-2 in their last 10. They're in Colorado. They'll probably keep winning. And then you got the Mets, who lost again last night, 1-9 in their last 10, 35-50. Time's running out there. NL Central Brewers, the team I'll be watching tomorrow. Sandwich 1846 says, go Brewers. 5.5 up on the Cubs. Cubs have played better of late, 8-2. They're the ultimate streaky team right now, so I don't know what to make of them quite yet. I do like their offensive names. Pitching, they're still a little light, I think. But, we'll see. So anyway, Cubs, 5.5 back. Cardinals, 7.5 back. They're on their way to Atlanta. So that's two teams that are kind of struggling right now that have been good most of the year. Atlanta and the Cardinals are about to link up at Truist Park. Pirates, game over 500, 9.5 back. Only 2 out of the wild card, though. And then the Reds, who, gosh, there's not a lot to look at. If you dig deep on the Reds, you're going to probably not like them. But they're still in it, and they are getting some pieces back, including Hunter Green pretty soon. West, Dodgers, they're way ahead. They're 11 up. I'm wondering how many they're going to win this division by. Because they're going to win over 100 games, and these other teams are going to be right around 500 to slightly over 500, I would guess. So 20 games? 20 games? Probably. They probably win it by that many, if not more. And Rockies in last. Giants still disappointing. All right, as for the coffee cups from last night, we got Cole Young, who wins the award last night. He goes 3 for 3 with 2 home runs for the Mariners. I don't get why the Mariners aren't good. Aren't great yet. I don't get it. I know they have some starting pitching issues that maybe they should make a move. Cade Anderson would help, a lefty in the rotation, and then just clear up everybody's role. Figure out what you want to do with everybody. But I don't like their 6-man right now, and I don't like when they do the piggyback right now. You could tell it's uncomfortable, and I know analytically that's probably what they want to do, but I think there's something to be said for the players not loving that, and a lot of capable starters in that rotation. Andy Rodriguez had a big game yesterday, 4 RBIs, home run. He gets 2 cups, and Brandon Marsh, 2 for 5, 2 home runs. He's got a little bit of a power surge of late in that loss to Pittsburgh. As for the WPAs, Griffin Conine's home run was the difference in the Miami-Colorado game, so he's the winner there. Seiya Suzuki, he's on the thumbnail. Well, he will be on the thumbnail once that's created, because he hit the walk-off hit last night. They defeated Mason Miller, so we'll watch that. Javier Sanoa also in there. Pitching-wise, the top 2 are the 2 that I want to watch, Mize and Kirby. Actually, Mize and Yasavage. Yasavage, 6 2/3. I know it's against the Mets, but he's always fun to watch. A bunch of good performances last night, but only the great one was probably Mize. As for WPA, Lodolo's 5 innings actually is the answer, which is a little surprising. But yeah, pretty big 5 innings there. From the relief ranks, Jacob Latz, a 2-inning save last night for the Rangers, it looks like. Grant Taylor, 2 innings of leverage relief. So that's usually reserved for the big boys right there. And that's about it. All right, let me hop in the chat, and then we'll get off to some baseball as we count down about 1 hour and 20 until Nasim comes on. All right, don't forget to like and subscribe. You really needed that one. I mean, I don't even know if I really needed it or not, but I went and did it, Jane. I don't know. All right, Cubs runners in scoring position. Offense is alive again, and apparently all that was all it took. I mean, they have such a deep lineup, whereas a lot of lineups in modern day baseball, you look at them and there's some automatic outs in there. The Cubs really do have, generally speaking, 8 or 9 usually decent hitters. So they can do rallies, they can do pass the baton, they have power in their lineup, but they are a team that should have more opportunities to get the big hit with two outs, and they weren't doing it for a while. Ayo, what would you think as a player after Soto's misplay? I don't know. It was the first run of the game, and it was relatively early, so I probably wouldn't have cared. I know he was trying to make a play. The tough thing about the turf, I will say, and maybe we can just go look at this play for 2 seconds. The tough thing about a turf situation is like once you commit one way or the other, there's no real going back. So that's what happened here early in this game with this inside the Parker sort of deal right here. This is Springer goes to left. You'll watch Soto comes in. Once he committed to trying to catch it, he really couldn't back up because even with the grassy turf, that ball's going to bounce and it's going to hit pretty hard. And I think once he decided to go, he was kind of committed. Now he's not an infielder. Like he should have bodied this ball or found a way to get in front of it, and he's a little playing off to the side, so that's the error there. But I don't fault him for just continuing to go for it once he committed. You either have to play way back here on this and catch it on a bounce and hold the runner to a single, or you got to try to really hustle and go get it. And yeah, I mean, it seems like he just made a bad judgment. I don't blame anybody for making a bad judgment. Sometimes that happens. But it's also the first run of the game, first batter of the game. Is it disappointing? Yeah, but it's probably easy to move past when you're a pitcher. So anyway, that's my thoughts on that. I don't think it's a huge deal. Thoughts on Brandon Sproat? Well, we're still learning more about him. He had his best start of his career recently versus the Reds. I think he's going to be a contact manager type of pitcher. Could potentially be a really good starter. I don't see ace potential, but I've been wrong before. 12 quality starts in a row for the Red Sox. They are absolutely rolling on the mound, and that's why they're playing as well as they're playing. 12 quality starts is very good. And like they're not going to bludgeon teams offensively, so they have to win a lot of low to medium score games, and that's what they're doing right now. Yankees June slump is so depressing. Yep, in the what have you done for me lately standings, the Yankees are looking horrible. So they need to turn it around. Hopefully they can do that today, and we'll see. Did you see Wilson Contreras' ejection? Yes, he did the head tap to the first base ump. These umpires are very sensitive. I think that ejection was ludicrous. But a lot of umpires don't like Wilson. And a lot of umpires don't like to feel like they're showed up. And this guy was awfully sensitive to toss him right there, in my opinion. AO, question. Just saw that you voted for Ernie in the poll today. I have to hear your thoughts on that. Yeah, the poll was who should be starting at second base in the All-Star game in the American League. And it was Jazz, Ernie, and who was the third one? Bazana. It's probably Bazana, but like, I don't know. Ernie's hitting close to 300. He's a fan favorite. He obviously got voted in. I think that matters for something. Like at the very tippy top, the guys want to see, the people want to see their guy in there. So I just went and clicked it. I didn't look that hard, but I know he's an interesting player. Probably can't compete OPS-wise with some of the others, but whatever. All right, what else we got here? Yeah, he probably should have gotten in front of it, but again, like I can deal with a little bit of a. He's just not a great fielder. I don't know. One run, it wouldn't have killed me right there, and it's the first play of the game, and I think the turf messed him up a little bit. Why is Eric Lauer useful now for Dodgers? Simply playing with better players? Probably not that. Probably just on a decent roll right now. I haven't seen if there's been any usage change or anything, but he's still a good pitcher. He's still a good player. But, when you are awful for a stretch, you usually have a good stretch coming. That's called regression to the mean. Like Eric Lauer is not a 7 ERA pitcher. So anyway. Yes, as Merlin Valdez, I actually thought about putting him on the list. So, yeah, that's it. What Sony model is this? This is the Sony RX100 version 7. All right. First guy on the list today should be probably Casey Mize. He pitched the best game of the night last night. He is, I would say, obviously they have Skubal and Framber, but Mize has been there a while. He was a #1 pick in the draft. The thing that was crazy last year, really over the whole course of time, but it's like he put up a good year last year, 14-6, 3.87, and then they weren't trusting him in the playoffs. Like they pitched him 3 to 5 innings tops, 2 times through the lineup, and I know that's the analytical approach, but I do feel like Casey Mize is a guy who can get there. He's got the pitches. He's got the command. He's smart. He's making adjustments as he's going. He's continued to tinker. And maybe they'll trust him a little more because I do think that one thing that hurts the Tigers come postseason is not just the fact that their relievers get pitched a lot. It's that they get pitched a lot in a lot of the same lanes, and then those guys get kind of exposed. Plus, they do it all season long, and they're kind of tired. And if you don't have the right stable of guys down there, you're going to need your starters to cover some innings. So hopefully Casey can be that guy if they were to make it to the playoffs. They have a long way to go. But Mize, Skubal, Valdez, that would sound good. Anyway, here's this season. Expected ERA is excellent, 92nd percentile. Walk rate, outstanding, 5.5% walks. K rate, very, very encouraging. Now, in terms of the usage, he was known for this splitter coming out of Auburn. That was like the magic pitch, and I always like splitters because, they're platoon neutral. You can get righties and lefties out. They can't stack the lineup too much against you, but he was basically a fastball splitter pitcher coming out of Auburn. Now, we travel back a little bit in time to 2024. There was a lot of slider usage, and you can see he's trying to figure it out. Sinkers, curveballs, there's a little cutter, there's a little slurve in there. Then you come to 2025, and he consolidated a little bit, went back to his fastball split approach as the main, lowered the slider a little bit down, and added in this slurve. So now he has a two-way tunnel. We've been talking about this. We watched Sonny Gray do it yesterday. We watched Max Meyer do it all year, and it's the short slider to the bigger slider that come out with a similar spin axis, and one of them is shorter and one of them is a little longer, so they tunnel really well together. I think that's the effect that Mize has been working towards with his breaking balls, and then it's the three shape of fastball approach on the right side. You're right, they're not going to make the postseason. I totally agree with you. I think they're cooked. I think they're going to trade Skubal, but I'm saying this was the vision. Because, I don't care if you make the playoffs. This is, another thing for me. I don't give out rewards for, just making the playoffs. You better be a chance to win the World Series, or what's the point, in my opinion. So it's you think about the Tigers, they're probably projected to make the playoffs, and they've made the playoffs a number of years recently, but they've done diddly squat in the playoffs. They haven't made it where they needed to make it. And I feel like a lot of their strategy has backfired on them come crunch time. Anyway, I know they're not making the playoffs. You're right. So anyway, that's what he's trying to do. That's 2025, and then 2026, he's kept the same approach. So he's finally settled on who he is. It's three shapes of the fastball, the four seam, the sinker, and the split. That's great. He's got tunnels over there moving to the arm side. He can read swings. He can work righties and lefties to both sides of the plate, and then he has the two breaking balls that are going to help him out. So let's look what he did yesterday. Detroit versus the Yankees. And I know the Yankees are in a bad moment right now, but this dude absolutely shoved. 7 innings, 1 hit, so 1 base runner through 7 innings and 88 pitches, 10 strikeouts. Here's the breakdown on it. 33 fastballs, 17 sliders, 16 splitters, 12 sinkers, 10 slurves. The Yankees did look like they stacked mostly lefties against him. He threw 62 pitches versus left-handers and only 26 versus righties. His velo was actually pretty mid, 93 miles an hour. But check out the whiff rate on the splitter and the sinker last night, 63% on both of those. So those pitches were super effective. He threw a lot of first pitch strikes. Later I'm going to have to talk about Brandon Woodruff a little bit on MLB Now. And there is pitchers out there that don't have the best stuff plus in the world, but they know how to pitch and they know how to tunnel. Watch Sonny Gray this year. Watch Brandon Woodruff this year. Watch Casey Mize in this outing. So let's do that. Let's watch them. Yankees, Tigers from the stadium last night. Yankees lose their 5th in a row. Casey Mize basically doesn't break a sweat in this outing. So let's watch the 88 pitches. Ben Rice is the first batter.
Since last year.
It's a good question as we start off. How tainted is your view on some AL pitchers this year, especially AL Central? Obviously, you can only play who you play, but the AL stinks this year. I agree, but they're still facing all the National League teams, and I'd say overall the balanced schedule makes this a little bit less of a conversation than it used to be when you would play 6 series versus the teams in your division, and really how you did against your own division really defined your season. I agree it's still a factor, but I think a little bit less so. If you go look at the game logs, you'll see that these guys do kind of face a ton of National League teams as well. So Mize starts it off with an absolute dot, frozen dot, to the corner here. Now, was this a strike? Because this was a little down and away freeze piece, which I've been talking about on this stream. I love the down and away fastball. That was a strike. Down and away force in particular for freeze in a lot of scenarios right now with the hitter behavior around the league. You're going to get a lot of frozen guys. All right, first pitch out here on a middle slider to belly. Now that pitch was very hittable. He came underneath that. So I think that was more of a bad swing over a good pitch. But again, as a starting pitcher, you're just trying to throw, mix up your pitches and throw them over the plate. You don't have to be super fine first pitch, with location. Sinker into Goldie, strike one, and he comes out with very good command in this game.
In the 4-game sweep at Boston,
The Brewers beat the Yankees a lot this year. I was at AmFam Field. Oh yeah, it's not Miller Park anymore? Yeah, they did. They took it to the Yankees pretty good. I mean, they did. They really did. The Brewers are really hard to play. I've never enjoyed playing the Brewers, and I feel like they've only gotten better. All right, good take there by Goldie, who's been pretty locked in. He's probably the one Yankee you can say that about right now. And then he punches him out with an accidental backdoor sinker, but actually really good first inning velocity from Casey in this one. I know it's going to go down, but really good velocity, really good command. He dictated all three of those at-bats, and that's a clean first.
Was going to get an equipment fine for throwing his helmet.
All right, second inning, and Jazz Chisholm. First pitch, fastball strike. There's the split off of that. It's a good tunnel. It's actually a really good take by Jazz. Now we're going to go to the slider. Little backdoor slider. Jazz hates it, and he was right that time. But I bet he got his rights revoked recently. I'm wondering what the conversation's been on that. And then he goes and swings at the splitter, and then he immediately tells the umpire that's his fault because of the pitch he called before. Watch, immediately has something to say to the umpire. Anyway, you're out. Who's up next? Jason Dominguez.
Jason 2 for 14 in the 4 games in Boston. Up and down the lineup in that Red Sox series.
That's dotted up and away. Challenge by Dingler. That's going to get overturned to a strike. So good challenge there. Makes it 1-1. And now backdoor slider. So he's made 2 mistakes now with backdoor sliders where he's missed over the middle. I mean, this one's low. And the Yankees have been underneath both of them. So a little bit of a scoopy action going on with some of the lefties against Mize's sliders so far. Four-seam strike. Now he goes to the sinker in. That's going to be a challenge. That's going to be a strike. So immediately 0-2, four-seam and then sinker. And out of that slurve. Hey, the diamond cut. Thanks for hanging. Jazz closing in on 50-50. 50 missed challenges. All right, 2-2 split. Volpe actually pretty good piece there. But McKinstry's going to rob him, so when it rains, it pours. That was a good piece. 102 on a line. That's the type of swing that we've been asking for Anthony to take for a while. Staying short, staying up the middle, but great play by McKinstry on the hop, and that's going to be the end of the second inning. Now we're on to the third. Spencer Jones, four-seam up take, and then here comes another four-seamer. Yeah, that's right in his wheelhouse. Down in. Flicks it out into right for a double. That's going to be the only hit Mize is going to allow this whole game. So it's a leadoff double in the second. He's pitching with a 5-0 lead. So if you're pitching in this spot, you don't even think about that runner. You just keep chucking pitches. All right, Austin Wells. Backdoor slider strike. He's landed a lot of those. Well, at least you can see that's part of the plan. Fastball away. Good pitch. Good ride on that. 18 inches on that one. Fouled off, and now he's going to try to split off of that line. He does. Almost gets the swing, but that's actually a pretty good take. Now he's going to go right back to it. This is sometimes what I would call a pitcher saying, I don't believe that you can do that take twice. I mean, they're not all that different pitches. He throws the first one. He gets the trigger, but he doesn't run away from it, right? He says, I don't think you can hold up twice. So he goes right back to it. And he punches him out. Go Tigers. First time here. Awesome show. Are my Braves toast? No, I don't think they're toast. I think they're just having a moment right now. But I will say that they have to figure out the starting pitching. Alex Anthopoulos definitely has his work cut out for him. Because he needs to reinforce that starting rotation. And, you know, Schwellenbach, the health of Schwellenbach is so important. He's one of the best young pitchers I've covered or watched or seen, you know, in the past 5 years. And if they got him back, that would be huge. But, yeah, they're in a little bit of trouble because the Phillies are on their tail. But I wouldn't say they're cooked. I think they'll be fine. And then a first pitch, backdoor slider. Rice swings at that one and punches it out to left. So they strand the runners, strand the leadoff double. Nothing comes of it. And we're on to the fourth. All right, Bellinger shows bunt, takes strike one. So we're right now, we're in midseason. You know, they talk about midseason, they talk about midseason form. You've heard that expression, you know, wait till our guys get into midseason form. We're firmly in midseason. For me, June, July, beginning of August are the month of potential death for pitchers because usually hitters start feeling really good, and this time the ball flies, it's warmer out. I feel like really hot days tend to affect the pitchers a lot. They're out there for a long period of time. That time Bellinger came over a four-seam. He was under a slider before, so his swing's a little off at the moment, I think. Anyway, the point is, if you're a pitcher, you need to be in your midseason form. You need to be in tip-top form June and July. Like you have to be dictating at bats. You have to be getting ahead because this is where hitters start to feel a little better, generally speaking, league-wide. So when you see guys dominate now, most of the time they're going to be 75, 80% first pitch strikes, and that's what we saw today from Mize. That's a good slurve right there to Goldie. Gets him to roll that over 82 miles an hour on that one. And now here's Oswaldo. Another backdoor slider for a strike. You see he's not trying to be perfect. He's just flipping it right in there. Yankees are thinking, how can we get a rally going? How can we make this guy throw more pitches? But they're falling behind 0-1, 0-2 on everything.
And won the game 5-4, the 0-2.
Splitter down ball. Yeah, I know you've been asking for this for a few days now. Maybe we'll see what time we have today, Sicario. Got to cover what's a little more recent though. All right, 2-2 called strike. Backdoor slider called. Yep, the up and away paint. He's hit that spot really, really well. That's been really, really impressive. All right, just so you know, in a minute, my doorbell's going to ring, and I have to run to the door to get an Apple package that's here, and I have to give him a PIN number, so that's going to take a second. David Cohen recently said that he liked pitching in the hotter months because he got older, he felt looser when it was hot. I've never pitched, but interesting to hear two different perspectives. Yeah, I think from a health standpoint, I would agree with him. Like, you feel good in the summer, like looseness, like you're not as stiff. You don't have to deal with the cold weather. But I do think you get tired a little bit easier, for me at least. Sometimes that's where guys from the South or from the DR or something have an advantage. They're used to playing in the super hot heat.
So that's called ball 3, and that's
hello.
Challenged by Dingler. And he's right.
Hello.
Not a good at bat for Alfonso Marquez.
Okay.
A tough at bat here.
Oh, the other gate is open. Can you go around and come to the door? All right, thank you. All right, I'll be right at the door in a minute. All right, I have to go in 1 second after this batter. I'll just take a quick pause. And then I'll be done in a second. That's popped up foul. So he actually works from the 3-2 here, Dominguez, and then he's going to get out on a slider. He's had crazy good results with his slider in the middle of the plate to some of these lefties. So if I have one criticism of the Yankee approach so far, it is these lefties. All right, I'm not even going to turn. I'm just going to leave it right here. I'll be right back in like 30 seconds. I have to give the pin, Rosie. It's 7259. All right, I'm back. All right. Nah, we sent a bunch of chargers with the girls to camp, and now it's like we're looking around the house and we can't find any chargers. So today I just ordered like 4 chargers for all the phones and devices in the house. All right, first pitch out here from Volpe. So remember, Volpe had a good swing that first at-bat. Tries to ambush here the second time, but that's a really good location. First pitch, right on right, sinker in. This is what I always talk about when we watch Cease and other guys. It's like, how are you going to get some quick outs? There was a discussion, maybe it was yesterday, about holding pitches back as a starter, like trying to dominate with just fastballs for one time through the order. As like a strategy to get deep into the game and hold back your best pitches. I would say I'm more on the side of like just trying to find, if you're a starter and you can find 3 1-pitch outs or 4 or 5 outs within 2 pitches in a game, to me, it doesn't matter what those pitch types are. That's the same effect. Like if they just get out on the first pitch, regardless if it's a fastball, slider, whatever, if you can continue to be in the zone enough to induce first pitch swings and get some first pitch outs, I think that's the same effect, because whether they didn't get exposed to a slider or fastball or whatever, you're still going to have something in your back pocket, so it doesn't necessarily matter. And whether it's the first inning and it's all fastballs or what have you, I think that's a little bit of an antiquated strategy. Obviously, it's great if it works, but if you come out and you try to just like half-ass it in the first inning and only throw fastballs, in the inning where literally the most runs are scored on average is the first inning, a lot of times you're not gonna make it very far. So I think that strategy is just something that can't be forced. All right, there's another backdoor slider. So what are we seeing from Mize in this game? We're seeing a ton of first pitch strikes. We're seeing really good usage of slider to slurve, which is what I predicted. Every time he throws a fastball down, he's able to go splitter off that line. It's really good command. I don't think the stuff is anything spectacular, but he varies it up enough, and he's using every pitch to inform the next pitch. Look at that split. That's beautiful right there. And Austin Wells is in a bad place at the plate. Oh, there's Verlander smiling. Slurve down, strike.
And injuries have just derailed him, and Tarek Skubal had and he's going to start tomorrow against Cam Slitler.
Here comes a sinker in. Misses away, gets the foul ball. He's also been able to go up with his velocity a little bit. That was 94-ish. And that's a bad at-bat by Caballero. Slider off that. This is a dream as a pitcher to get a person to swing at a pitch this far off the plate. So, Yankees are in a rough spot. They're definitely pressing a little bit. I think they went into Boston a little too confident. And I'll never forget Rafael Betancourt, who was one of the best vets I ever played for. I remember him saying, like, at times, you have to respect every team, no matter where they are in the standings in the major leagues. And as soon as you stop doing that, you're very vulnerable to like having a disaster series. As hard as it is, because of the 162, it's like that. The vibe around the clubhouse has to be like we have to earn every win. Really good split there to Ben Rice. That got him way out front. As you see, Grisham and Judge having a little powwow down at the end of the dugout. Now he's going to punch him out with fastball up. Man. 21 inches of vert on that, so that's no fluke there. This is probably the best fastball I've ever seen Mize throw from a four-seam perspective. He got through this ball tremendously well to the top of the zone. And that destroyed Ben Rice right there. Let's look at this delivery a little bit. Pretty simple. I think the main thing that I would like to point out is he brings the boom pretty late. And I think that's always the key to not only throwing hard, with less effort, but also being able to command your hard pitches. So that's a nice pitch. All right, next up. Slider strike. And slurve off of that. He's done a lot of slider to slurve. And actually, I think that he just has a very well thought out pitch package. I like that he's not trying to go cutters. I think that would make him more vulnerable. He's maintained probably his best fastball shape of his career this year. I mean, in this game, he's been 16.5 to 21 inches of vert. That's all going to play. And then he's able to locate it. He has the sinker when he needs to go in on righties. I'm assuming he can do a little bit of front-dooring lefties as well. The splitter goes off that line. It has good, a good difference in shape from the four-seam, and then he has the two breaking balls that help each other. So I think it's just a well-thought-out arsenal with really good command. All right, sinker here to Goldie.
15 of 21.
Now slurve off of that. That's a ball. So that would be a perfect time for a backdoor sinker, which he doesn't really throw. Now he's going to go with a smaller one, the slider. Pulls that way away. And now sinker in again. Chases him off the plate in. So sinker, sinker. 2 breaking balls away, even though they're non-competitive. And then another pitch running in on the hands. Now, I wouldn't have thrown this pitch, but if you execute it like that, that's excellent. That's a great pitch. All right, here's his last batter. Oswaldo. 4-seam middle, but that ball had some vert on it. Yeah, 20 inches. You can see he's thrown some really pure backspun fastballs in this game. There's another one. 19.3 inches of vert. And then he's going to punch him out looking with a slurve. So it's just one of those days. He had every single thing working. This is also a really bad challenge. I mean, I get they were desperate here. That's a really bad challenge. You know, 0-2, 2 outs, nobody on. You're not having a rally this inning, Oswaldo. I'm sorry. But Mize was really feeling it in this game. He got in a rhythm. They never challenged him. They never made him uncomfortable. Obviously, the Yankees are in a bad spot right now. But this is also just a really good outing. And he's been a lot more consistent, I'd say, this year. Especially lately than any of the other years that I've watched him pitch. Let's look at his game logs. That was only his first 7-inning start, so that speaks a little bit to how difficult it is for the Tigers to really let him go deep into ball games. You know, 6 innings, his first start of the year against the Diamondbacks, then 4 1/3, 5 2/3, 6 2/3, so he reached the 7th in this game versus Boston. But it's only a 4 base runner game, so like he has to be almost flawless for AJ to let him pitch into the 7th. 6 here versus Milwaukee, then 2 innings. 6, 6, 4, 4, 5, and then finally 7. Curious to see if you start seeing him get a few more opportunities to go 6 or 7 or deeper into the game, or if they just don't feel like he can do it. I don't know, but that was a really impressive performance. He's been really good, and this is the best we've ever seen the number 1 overall pick. Number 1 overall pick, man. What's Mize's VAA looking like when he's throwing 20 balls? I'm sure it's better. I don't think he's a VAA guy to begin with, but let's see what it has for Mize's 4-seam VAA here. I would assume it's okay, but I don't think it's anything special. Obviously, a 20 ball will help more, though. Yeah, so he's only 56th percentile VAA on his 4-seam this year, negative 4.6, so nothing special. I mean, slightly above average. But nothing special, although that will play a little better with more IVB. He probably had some... I don't have the access to the TJ stats, which would have the individual game VAs on his fastball, but I would bet he was probably like negative 4.3, negative 4.2, something a little better. Something a little better than that. All right. That's it for Mize. That was fun. Like and subscribe. Join the Discord. It's free and lots of fun. Please throw some likes our direction. That would be the best. If you're in the TikTok and you want to come get in the chat, come on over to YouTube, subscribe and get in the chat. Who goes down when Trent comes back Friday? Yeah, probably Spencer Jones. I would agree with AO here. Unless it's Oswaldo, but then they're not covered in the infield probably as much. So this has been a horrible week for the Yankees. No way around it. But everybody has a horrible week. I still believe in them overall. This is where you have to be convicted as an analyst, I realize. You got to be convicted in the teams you like because everybody's going to look like crap one week or great another week. How old were you when you created the sweeper you use now? So believe it or not, my sweeper beginnings was at Northeastern in college. We had a catcher, Luke Carlin. He's before my time. He was a major league catcher, played for the Padres. He came back and trained. I was working on a cutter with Luke Carlin. And from the cutter grip, I moved over on the ball into sweeper grip territory. And I'll show you what I was doing. So he had me like here on cutter. Like this is my normal 4-seam. He had me move over this finger at cutter. And then I took it to the extreme. I said, well, what if I go way in the corner here, which ends up being my sweeper grip, to create a super cutter. Now, I didn't know this was a sweeper at the time because at the time we were taught sliders had to break two plane, down and to the left. And this was just going left, so I thought it would be lame. People would say it's flat, it's a hanger, nobody would want it, but I could make it do it. I could make it go straight left. So that was called the super cutter. So I put that in my pocket for a while, didn't really use it as much because, again, I was a little self-conscious about that. I threw more of a slurve, then I had more of an up-down pitch. Even though those had good spin rate and good break, it wasn't really quite the sweeper. Fast forward to my AA season, I was the worst pitcher in the league, in the Texas League. Second half of that year, I'm living with my buddies, John Jay, Daniel Descalzo, Alan Craig, David Freese, all these boys. And they're telling me that the reason people aren't swinging at my breaking ball is because it's popping too much out of the hand and I need something a little flatter. So I went to the sweeper a little bit that second half in AA and started getting results. From that point on, I used multiple breaking balls. And really, the sweeper I didn't up the usage on the sweeper. I'd only use it occasionally. But once I got to the big leagues for Colorado, this is many years later, I had been using it again. This time between, I guess it was like, let's call it 2008 and 2013. Like I've been using it some, but not a ton. But by the time I got to 14, I realized how effective it was at the big league level. And that's when you saw the usage start to climb and it became my primary pitch and what I was known for. But it was there going back to like 2006 or 5, just kind of laying dormant and not really knowing how to use it. All right, is Brett going to the soccer game with me? No, it's only the boys today. Plus, she's driving to Boston right now just to get cupcakes with her sister. So that's Brett. All right, 18.8 IVB in that outing from Mize. I mean, that's an outlier. It's the best fastball he's probably had all year and maybe his whole career in the big leagues. And it was tremendous. If he can maintain that, it's a much better pitch. Erod with the win last night. His 2.21 ERA is the 5th lowest among all starters. That's true. Eduardo Rodriguez is having a little bit of a renaissance. He's another guy, command guy over stuff. Erod is perplexing. Yeah. What happened to Luis Gil? He had an outlier amount of he had a great slider that rookie year that they taught him, and he threw really hard and his fastball played. Now he doesn't have any whiff in his game. I'd like to see him go to the bullpen because he still has a chance to throw 100 miles an hour, I think. He might be interesting. All right, I see some of the requests in here. I'll answer this one maybe a little bit. So there's an old Fangraphs article on me where they find the 3 different breaks. I think it's from 2014. If you want to search through the archives, they actually found the data that I was talking about, where I had the 3 different breaks: the curve, the slurve, and the sweeper. So I used to throw my slurve like this, like more of a traditional, slider grip, and then I would just like kind of get on the side of it and slurve it. When I wanted to go curveball, I would flip to the other side of the horseshoe and I would try to raise my arm slot and get above it, and then I would go sweeper when I wanted to go straight across. So I had 3 different grips. I felt like having different grips is important so that you keep them separate in your mind and they don't blend into one crappy version, or whatever you want to call. They are pretty good. It's this place called Party Favors in Brookline, Mass. But they're closing soon. And, Brett went to Harvard, so these were near and dear to her heart. And so they gotta go get the cupcakes, gotta go get the cupcakes. And right now you have a moment. All the kids are at camp and stuff. Yeah, Latz is the man. All right, we got 45 minutes until Nasim, so we should do some more watching. So I've been getting requests a little bit because there's been a really fun thing happening lately with this guy, Esmerlin Valdez, who got called up by the Pirates recently and has been going off. 289, 360, 778 slug for a 1.138 OPS through his first 50 plate appearances in the show. 22 years old, 6'2", 234. Let's go find him out. He was the Pirates' number 9 prospect. And he has come up and done really, really well right off the rip. So let's see what the scouting report on Esmerlin Valdez is. There's been a lot of requests for this guy, so let's check him out. Hit grade 45, power grade 60. So he's got some power with some swing and miss, I would guess. 40 run, 50 field, 50. So this guy's a bat first guy. Signed for just $130,000 in 2021. Valdez showed some raw power, but didn't make a ton of noise. Started establishing himself in the Florida State League. He led the league in home runs. Then he reached Double-A and hit 26 more in 05, and then got to the Futures game, and he was Arizona Fall League Offensive Player of the Year. So this guy's bat is for real. He's done it at every level now. Never going to be a Gold Glove winner, but he also made strides with his outfield defense. It's kind of crazy because he's only 6'2", 230. That doesn't, I mean, that's a big boy, but doesn't necessarily scream top of the scale power. Anyway, here in the early going in Pittsburgh. All right, never mind. I don't want to look at that. I want to look at his minors. So here's his minor stats before getting called up. 255, 388 on base, though. 526 slug, 914 OPS. 13 home runs, 13 doubles, 48, 48 walks, 51 Ks. So plenty of fear in the hearts of the pitchers from Esmerlin Valdez. Let me go look at his prospects savant page. I love how there's several Esmerlins. Only in baseball do you find these names. All right, so it looks like he's going to be a similar type of guy than a lot of the power prospects we've been watching. High-end everything. But obviously also a lot of whiff in his game. 31% whiff in AAA. Doesn't swing a lot, but that's probably because they don't challenge him a lot. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a whiff game, swing and miss game. Let's go look at his game log so we can watch some swings. Well, we got to watch all his at-bats for the last 2 days versus the Reds and then the Pirates. So let's just check them out. We'll get a little bit of a read of what we're looking for. 3 for 5 and then 2 for 5. He has homered in four straight games. We'll just watch the last 2. Pirates, Reds. It's this last game. And here he is, Esmerlin Valdez. So let's get a look at him. He's facing Brady Singer here, right on right. First pitch, slider, take. Here comes the sinker. Hands are kind of low. Oh, baby, I can tell this is kind of a... I think he's going to crush... I mean, I see one fastball here, a 91 sinker beat him up top. And I think he's going to crush breaking balls, but let's see. All right, sweeper here. That's a take. And then he's going to get a hit here on a 1-2 slider. Yeah, stays through that ball really, really well and thumps that for a ground rule double. This is a bad pitch, but 101 off the bat. Definitely did a good job to go get this ball. It's got a little bit of that last second hand hitch here. That. Because it's 1 and then there's 2. I don't necessarily hate it, but he's going to have to prove to me a little bit that he's going to be able to catch up with fastballs, so we'll keep watching him. Anyway, good swing there. Second at bat. This is Brady Singer again. Sinker, middle. Huge swing and miss. Sinker fouled off. Late on both of those.
0-2.
0-2 sinker away. Ball, confirmed ball, so that's a good take. And then he's going to get out with a sweeper here. Runs out of bat a little bit there, jinx it over. Okay. All right, third at bat. Still facing Singer. Sinker taken all the way. Here's another one. He looks late on fastballs. I would just stay with the fastballs if I were them. There's a fastball fouled away.
1-2.
Yeah, I think Carl sees the same thing as I'm seeing. I feel bad, like, breaking down hitters and then immediately telling them how I can get them out, saying how I can get them out, but I can't help it. I can't turn it off. There's a sinker, but it's poorly located. It's down. It's where he can get to. Plus, he saw a lot of fastballs in this at-bat. It's not a particularly great swing, but he doesn't strike out. And at least he fires on that. A lot of guys maybe would have taken that pitch, and it is a ground ball single. All right, next at-bat, he's got Zach McCambly. Sweeper ball. Good morning, Blake 5541. Thanks for hanging. Cutter down.
Tyler Callahan on deck.
Cutter again coming. So 3-0 count, and then he's going to walk. So this was also part of his game in the minors. We'll take his walks, and then I think he's going to clip Pierce Johnson here. So Pierce Johnson, known for his curveball. Let's see if it's on a breaking ball, if he gets him on a fastball. right, 1-2 curveball. Oof, that was a risky pitch. Another curveball.
The injured list. And
Good
he
take.
No, didn't offer.
He's going to get him on a fastball. Okay, Oppo.
Oh, man,
Wow,
that
did
ball sounded
not
good off
think
the
he would be
bat.
able to get to
That's
that. Now, I
drilled.
definitely think it
Way
helps
gone.
that it wasn't inside. I don't think with his bat path he'll be able to cover in.
One of the farthest
Oh, shit.
home runs
Pierce
we've
Johnson
seen
yelling at somebody?
at PNC
Don't
Park.
get mad you got clipped. You shouldn't have thrown it there, bro. That's on you, cuz. If he wants to celebrate, get over it.
Maybe eases
Look at
that
this.
quad a little
Fastball up, clobbered. Your fastball ain't that
bit.
great,
Oh, man,
Pierce.
that
Sorry.
ball sounded good off the bat. That's drilled. Way gone. Whoa!
I didn't think he could get to this ball, though, to be fair.
One of the farthest.
Oh, I think he's yelling at the umpire. He's yelling at the umpire about the check swing. Oh, he wants to go blame the umpire. Let's see the check swing. He might have a little bit of a point. But I love how he immediately turns to the first base umpire and yells at him. Let's see if he does it right after the pitch. He's walking over there, but either way, this was a great swing. I'm surprised he got to this, to be honest with you. To me, it felt like he couldn't hit fastballs up, but great adjustment by Valdez, and when he hits it, he really hits it, huh? Yeah, he definitely swung there. All right, next up, they played the Phillies yesterday. Phillies, Pirates. Valdez had another good game, 2 for 3 with 2 walks. He's going to punch out this first at-bat versus Nola. Yeah, he has a point, but you don't go and yell at the umpire. I know it's an emotional game, but...
Demeanor.
That was also really close. It wasn't that close. I'm shocked he didn't get tossed, but Contreras did last night. I'm telling you, the umpires also just don't like Contreras. So that's part of it. Let's see what Nola's going to get him with here. He's gone to a couple chase breaking balls here that he's very nicely not offered at, and then a backdoor sinker beats him down the middle. So I've seen him miss some hittable fastballs here, but obviously hit that home run, so that's intriguing. Tap on helmet equals auto ejection. Do you think that's right, guys? I don't think that should be the case. I think the umpire's a little soft there, if you want to know the truth.
Inside. 2-1.
All right, in-play runs on a 2-1 knuckle curves. This is what I expected, him to crush breaking balls. And that's what you see here, a little hanging breaking ball demolished to left. 103.4 at 35. And the cone stuff is awesome for the Pirates. Yeah, so I got this guy being a breaking ball hitter unless you show him too many fastballs, and then he might have a shot to catch up on you. But interesting prospect. Pirates have done much better offensively this year. And, of course, it's always great if you can develop some guys who can hit as well. Is that real? Was that actually in the rule book? Because I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
2 innings. 44 pitches the last 2. 3-1. Outside.
Good take. I mean, he's had some good takes. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
Seems like a lot of swing and miss on hittable pitches, but he's also been pretty selective. Looks like a tough out if you can't locate well. Yeah, I think the game against him is going to be hard in, but he's done a great job of not chasing off the plate breaking balls, which usually is the separator between guys with big time pop with swing and miss issues like him and the guys who can't. If you're going to miss enough in the zone, you also can't exacerbate the problem by chasing. So this is impressive here because look at this at bat. He gets beat by the 95. This is Meza. Right down the middle. Huge hack. Then another sinker. He's late again. So you would think the four seam would beat him, but instead he speeds up and he's on it. So yeah, it's not a good location by Meza. It's middle. But I will say that he's been able to make some adjustments on fastballs when he sees more than one. All right, here's Shugart.
Outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Strike zone.
Soft. Soft. Good take there. Sinker coming here. Another huge hack. I mean, you got to love the aggression he shows. And then he's going to lay off a sweeper. So,
Outside ball 4.
his chase rate's been good. Obviously, he's hitting the ball hard. But look at that chase rate in the early going. Only 22.5%. That's the separator. Because 40.6% whiff is way too high. But he's still effective. Now, let's see how this progresses. I'm sure teams are going to pitch him in a lot more. And things will change. But another intriguing guy who swings it hard, swings it fast. Let's see his bat tracking if that's out yet. I bet it's going to be pretty long on the swing. 7.8 feet swing length. So not in the Junior Caminero or, Spencer Jones level, but pretty long, fairly long, above average length. Fairly normal amount of tilt and a very normal amount, a little bit more uppercut through the ball, but that's what you're expecting. He wants to hit the ball in the air, and I think he can go all out. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on him. Young guy, never heard of him until recently, but up with the Pirates. Pete Abraham questioned Nick Lentz, and Lentz said it's an automatic ejection, makes a gesture and a mocking. We also said it's on the list of items for removal from a game. Well, I don't know. I mean, has everybody seen this list? I didn't know about that. That umpire's soft as a lot of things. Really soft. Did you catch the PCA at bat versus Morejon on the Padres last night? It was a Juan Soto-esque walk. All right, so I was going to look at Seiya a little bit from this game anyway, so we can go over to that Cubs game next. Half hour to Nasim. Yeah, Cubs 3, Padres 2. Little box score action here. Shota, 6 1/3, 2 runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts. Bullpen did a nice job for the Cubs. I know that's been an issue. Canning, Hart, Bradley, who's really good. Morejon, who I love. Adam, who I love. And Miller. Seiya Suzuki, 2 for 4, 800 OPS. PCA, 2 for 3, 881 OPS. Those guys have both been really, really good. All right, PCA, because he's now leading the league in WAR, a potential MVP for real, if he stays on this track. We'll see. But this is where he's at right now. 369, 52 runs scored already, 91 hits, 17 homers, 20 steals, 284, 372, 509, 881. Great defense. He does a lot really, really well. So you're saying he had a really important walk yesterday. Well, not important, but a fun walk versus the Padres. One thing about PCA, and this is something that we've been monitoring since the season, is this chase rate. So he's at 36.9% this year. You go back to last season, this is what really undid him. He was at 41.7. So it might not seem huge, but he has dropped about 5 percentage points in that category. So it needs to be more of his game. And let's watch this at-bat that you're talking about. 7-pitch at-bat versus Morejon is going to result in a walk. 99 up for a ball. 89 slider. Not sure why. I guess he's maybe looking for a slider, but he pulls that one foul. Sinker strike. Ball above the zone. Good take right there, for sure. Now here's a strike overturned. Great take there. That's a pitch he would have 100% swung at last year. Yeah, the biggest hole in PCA's game was chase, and he seems to have worked on it. I mean, it doesn't have to. He's so good at everything in the game except for this that he just needs to mitigate this a little bit, and that's what he's been doing. And if he continues down that path, the sky's the limit. Let's see this layoff on the 3-2. Also a good take. So, yeah, so showing a little bit of discipline there. Had a couple tough takes. Good challenge mixed in there. Obviously, that's a really tough left-on-left matchup. So, showing a little bit of growth there. And then also here, we go to the 9th inning. Jason Adam went out for the 9th, and they were able to put a pretty good rally on the Padres. Dansby, who's been hot, leads it off with a single on a changeup. Machado can't get the ball out of his glove, and then PCA is going to come up and get a hit on another changeup on 2-2. Little slash out to left, very nice, and now they're in business, and then they go ahead and they bring in Mason Miller. I don't know why he didn't start this inning, but he didn't. Bregman up the middle. Dansby kind of froze, so that sets up a bases loaded, no out situation. Michael Bush. Fly ball's a little bit too shallow for Dansby to score on that. Hosed at the plate. I mean, absolutely hosed. I get why you had to go, but that was very, very close. So that sets up an opportunity for Seiya Suzuki. Miller's about to try to get out of this. Slider ball 1, and then slider, he's going to hit it. I think you got to go up there sitting on slider against Mason Miller. That's a little bit of a hot take, but I don't think you can really be on the fastball and hit the slider, so you got to sit on the slider. Great attempt out there by the Ivy, but Seiya does get the job done. Ball beats the left fielder here. Homeboy had to jump into the brick, and he looks like, oh, well, I tried. And a great swing by Seiya here. 90 got all the way to the wall, huh? That's a little bit of that summer I'm talking about, plus the balls that they have clearly juiced over the last month or so. So anyway, Seiya Suzuki's been good. I wanted to check out his numbers a little bit as well. We talked about PCA. I know that he's a little polarizing, but I don't think it's arguable. I think he's definitely in the race for MVP at this point, when you consider what he does on both sides of the ball. They're really going to blow leaves or cut the grass 32 feet from me? All right, Seiya this year. 294, was hurt for a little bit, right? 266, 350, 449, 799 OPS, 12 home runs. He's really kind of become a lot more steady. His outfield play has been a little better. Look at that chase rate, 86% chase, and that's what I think. I think the Cubs' offense is at the best when they're able to pass the baton. I think they're a pass the baton offense. I think that's the bottom line with the Cubs. They have enough diversity of players where I think if they just pass the baton every single night, they are a team that can compete with anybody offensively. Suzuki's a big part of that. I'm gonna look at his game logs. He's been hot lately. Did have a 2-hit game yesterday. Does have a 4-game hitting streak going. A couple home runs recently against Milwaukee. But he's definitely an important factor for them. When I look at the Cubs roster, I'm trying to think about what they need to do for the deadline. I think it's obviously bullpen, more pitching. They need just pitching in general. They made the move for Peterson. They're probably one of the only teams in the league that would immediately give Peterson a rotation spot right now. But here's them offensively, right? PCA, wonderful. Bregman's been bad, but I expect him to be better. Bush, kind of the same. Seiya's been fine. Happ kind of is what he is. He's going to get on base a lot. He's a useful player. Nico is the one they have to get back going. He's the force multiplier on this team. Conforto's actually been all right. Kelly, it's a catcher. When he hits, it's fine. Dansby, great defense. Had the great week last week. I don't know what's up with his bat. They'd like him to be more consistent. But you look at the totality of the lineup, 9 guys that can give you a good at-bat. On the mound, I definitely think they're short right now. They don't have any stuff on this mound. Like, they have no intimidating stuff, guys, with Cabrera out and Horton out for the year. It's tough. Shota, Assad, Boyd, Ray, Peterson, all these guys can really pitch, and that might be enough to get them into the postseason, but I see trouble for them if they don't find some way to get Nasser in the rotation. And then I, for one, have very little belief in their bullpen long-term. This is just not a scary bullpen. There's some good arms, but it's not a scary bullpen. It's not a championship bullpen. So expect them to be in on pitching, and We'll see what they can pry away from other teams. Ben Brown being hurt's a big deal too. So Ben Brown is probably their best guy, I would say, from what he's shown early in the year. They're going to need him back. Cabrera's got the plus stuff. I don't know what's going on with Steele. There was a setback with him. J-Mo's similar to the other guys. He'll get you in the postseason. And he might be good in the postseason, but they're not going to let him pitch many times through the order. So again, they need more pitching. They need more impact pitching. This is scary as their reliever IL. Hunter Harvey, Porter Hodge, Riley Martin, Phil Maton, Shelby Miller, Hobie Milner, Daniel Palencia, Ethan Roberts. That is insane. That's a full bullpen of injured guys. So as we turn to our attention to the trade deadline in a month, the Cubs are going to be a player, I would think, and we'll see what they can do. Do I think Schwarber will be a Hall of Fame? I think he's going to be pretty close. It's going to be interesting to see how he'll be treated. I think he's going to get 500 homers, so we'll see. PCA, he's the best center fielder by far. Buxton, I think, is the only guy close offensively, guys in his own class in the field. So Buxton, I still think, is actually better than him offensively. But I think overall, yeah, those two are the top two right now. A lot of good options potentially coming in. Some good players, but yeah, I'd say both sides of the ball is probably those two guys. All right, Cubs. Watching this team every day really just depends on hitting with runners in scoring position. Typically, they go as Ian and Nico go. See, that's what I was talking about. Nico, to me, is the biggest factor. Ian is like a guy who walks a lot, hits some homers, plays good defense. I don't expect Ian to get clutch hits. Nico, I do. Nico's always been one of the toughest guys to face in the league. I never liked facing him, even right on right. Great contact hitter. Dog at the plate. Big factor is Nico Horner. They signed Shelby knowing they'd miss this season. Okay. Can Sonny Gray be a good fit if he's looking later on post part of the season? Yeah, potentially. I mean, who knows what the high-end pitchers are going to be, so you might have to go for a Sonny or something like that. Is the app used to review at-bats pitch by pitch, public available? No, not available. Not available. Yeah, Seti also got to be in the convo this year. He's similar to PCA in a lot of ways. Maybe not quite as much offensive upside, but yeah. Ooh, I hadn't thought about this. Could Clay Holmes be dealt if he gets healthy? Because he's like a true, he's pretty close to a 2 or a 1, I'd say. What do you think has caused the Rangers' little hot streak? Just actually getting hits with runner score. Yeah, I thought, well, Wyatt Langford went back on the IL, but they had a little stretch where he was really helping. And they just played a couple of really good games with some clutch hitting against Toronto. So nothing functionally has changed with their team, but they just haven't been consistent offensively. If they can do that, they're a good team. Their bullpen's been good. So, Texas is, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I still believe in Seattle. Texas, you can look at them and say, okay, but their hitting's just been so inconsistent, week to week, day to day. All right, 20 more minutes to Nasim Nuñez. Should we quickly watch Trey Savage? Shove versus the Mets yesterday. 2 innings. 2 to 1. He pitched 6 2/3, 3 hits, 1 run, no walks, 3 strikeouts, 1 home run. Minaya also pitched pretty well. He's been all right in the rotation, but the Mets they do this thing where they just don't score runs when they have a good pitching outing. So rough. Anyway, what was the breakdown on Trey from yesterday? Leaned on the fastball a little bit more than usual. 49 fastballs, 32 splits, only 13 sliders, but that's probably because of the mix. Faced a lot of lefties and not as many righties. So, all right, we'll run through this one real quick. This is the New York Mets. It's tough to watch right now. And the Toronto Blue Jays, Trey Savage. Let's see how he gets his outs. First out of the game is Benj on a splitty. This is their first time seeing Trey, I believe. And he's really tough if you haven't seen him before. I'll tell you what. That downhill action is legit. Juan Soto doesn't care, though. He smokes him to right for a double. He's so good. And now slider to Bo Bichette, who got a massive ovation yesterday, which we were talking about on the Discord a little bit yesterday. I kind of knew it was coming. He was a great Blue Jay. Man, a really late tag by Soto, but it's fine. He makes it. Bichette hit that ball decent. Didn't quite get enough. And then Trey's going to finish the first inning with a fastball up to Lindor. Puts a decent swing on it, but it was with 2 strikes, so it wasn't his A swing. Flies it out to center. Second inning. Jared Young's going to get him started with a hit on an 0-2 split off the hand of Trey Savage, who then airmails it. So that's kind of an error. Definitely an error. And leadoff runner gets the second.
24 games.
All right, Ewing. This is one of my favorite new young players. Does get beat up with the fastball there. Flies it out on a 3-1 count. This is probably something that he hasn't been doing for much of his time up here, is swinging at bad pitches on 3-1. But again, I think a lot of it has to do with this arm slot. He makes a lot of guys make bad decisions north-south. Because that could have been a walk. That could have been 2 on and no outs. That was a poor swing decision there. All right, Mark Vientos, who I got to wonder how much more playing time he's going to get. 96, middle in, popped up. Easy out there. And then Brett Beatty, 96, middle, lazy fly out to center. So I think that was more bad hitting by the Mets there than anything that Savage did that inning. Alvarez, middle, lazy fly out to right. That's a good pitch to hit. That's a bad swing. 3-2 hit now from Benj. Good job by him there, getting kind of jammed. I mean, there's a walk either way, but gets a little jam hit. Good hitters get jammed. Juan Soto, splitter on the ground. Could be 2. There's 1. Ernie back to first. No. First pitch to Bichette, fastball, inside, kind of beats him. Ernie goes the short way. Another pretty good inning there. I think Savage versus Soto is actually a pretty good matchup for Savage because of the flat bat. You saw it there a little bit. Bad splitter, and he did hit it, but Soto usually figures it out. All right, another fastball here to Lindor. He's going to roll that one over to Vladdy. 1 out in the 4th. Here's Jared Young now.
Fly ball to center field.
Tries to ambush, can't quite get to that fastball, pops that up. Easy out there, and then another easy out here. Ewing swings again above the zone. So that's twice now he's swung above the zone at Savage's fastball. And I just got to believe, if you haven't seen him before, it's pretty predictable you're going to swing at those pitches. Here is a slider on, I mean, Jesus. 3-2 slider, not even close to Vientos, and he swings at that. So this was 3-0. 3-0 fastball. Okay, I get it. You're taking. That's fine. 3-1 fastball. Swing and miss. And then this I just can't figure out this slider chase. I understand that he gets a lot of chase below the zone, but that's an egregious chase by Mark there for the first out of the 5th. All right, Beatty. Line drive to right. So that was a good swing. Nothing for it. And now Alvarez, 3-1 challenge heater. So they got some pitches to hit. They just did absolutely nothing with them. I like that swing. That's a good swing by Straw. So two good swings in this at bat in this inning at least. 2 lineouts. All right, 6th inning. Called strike 3 to Benj. Fastball up and in. No challenge. So we'll take that. Now Juan Soto, 2-1 challenge fastball.
Because his barrel gets deep, he can wait long.
Lucky he didn't give up a home run right there. Good swing, just missed it. And then Bichette, first pitch out. So Bichette got out twice on first pitches. That was actually a pretty good stay inside at swing. But looks like a lot of batted balls, especially fly balls, went in the Blue Jays' favor here. And the Mets just didn't quite hit with enough authority. Now here's the home run from Lindor. So let's watch the sequence here. Fastball, ball, fastball, home run. He was on that one fastball pretty good above the zone earlier, so I'm not terribly surprised. But a good swing there. Really pulled the hands and hit it right to Eric Langell, the bullpen catcher out there in right. Good swing here. That's the first good thing Lindor's done offensively, I believe, since he's been back. And that's a good sign because he's such a slow starter. Generally, you wonder how he's going to look after a long period of inactivity, but that was a good swing right there. And he was on that fastball earlier, too. So pretty good sign there from Lindor. All right, Jared Young. Splitter popped up.
This is in the air to shallow center. Straws there.
Can of corn.
One down.
Here's a 3-1 hit by pitch to Ewing.
Ooh, and he hit him.
So that just kind of hurt. And now Vientos. Four-seamer.
In the air to right.
Good pitch to hit, but he's under it. And he pops it up to right.
Makes the catch.
And that's it for you, Savage. He pitched good, but I thought he threw a lot of, the biggest thing is he threw a lot of strikes. And he got some easy contact outs. Not his typical strikeout, strikeout, strikeout game, but a lot of empty at-bats in the bottom of the lineup for the Mets, which has kind of been the case generally. And look, in the 9th inning, they got into a good scenario. Line out, single walk versus Varland, and then he's going to punch out the last two guys to end this game. So a little extra Varland watching here as we watch him in a kind of a tight situation in the 9th get through it. So Vientos with just a horrible challenge here. This is such a bad challenge. How do you think this pitch is away? It's fully in the box, Mark.
Breaking stuff.
So that makes it 1-1, and he loses his challenge. 98 here. Underneath that. So sees 3 fastballs in a row, and yet he's underneath the hittable one. Curveball. Okay, takes that one, and then curveball. He's going to chase this one. Not even chase, just way over it. Like, he missed this ball by a foot. Look at the hip. He is lost at the plate, guys. Lost at the plate. And he has such good raw physical hitting ability. I think he has a nice swing, but he's not seeing the ball at all. All right, so he punches out, and now Ronnie Mauricio, another guy who's not seeing the ball well, comes up. First pitch, changeup down, probably the most hittable pitch of the at-bat. Curveball. Not even close. Curveball. He's not even close. And I know Varland is, look, I have him as second best pitcher in the American League right now this year, behind Schlittler. But, this was some tough at-bats. The auto take here by Mauricio, I don't understand. You have the game on the line. You need a pitch to hit. This is going up there without a plan and just trying to see a pitch and being behind 0-1, and now you're going to swing at 2 balls. So I don't understand this plan by some of the Mets hitters, and the young hitters in particular have come up, and they just don't look good. They just don't look good, They just don't look good. All right, let's see what we got here in the chat. So much stuff in the chat here, and we got 10 minutes till our guest comes on. Which player on the Mets who's likely to be dealt do you think gets the best return? Luke Weaver or Holmes, if he can get healthy in time? Yeah, those are probably the two. Let's go look at the roster, and I'll be curious if Stearns actually does go, like how he does approach this deadline. It's going to be fascinating to watch. It was great theater, but let's look at the roster. Who is going to go off this roster? So offensively, Benj going nowhere, Soto going nowhere, Bichette, I don't think he's going anywhere. Lindor would be a crazy decision, so I'm going to say he's not going anywhere. I don't think anybody really wants Jared Young unless they're going to use him in some sort of platoon, so that's not going to fetch you much. Ewing's not going anywhere. I don't think Vientos gets you anything right now, or Beatty. Teams might want them off your hands, but they're not going to offer a lot, and Alvy's not going anywhere. Mauricio going back to AAA probably. From the pitching staff, I don't think Manaya's got a ton of value right now. Peralta will still have value. I know it's a rental, but he's not making any money. And but he's also not the tippy top of his game either. So I think Peralta gets you something, but I don't think it'd be that exciting. I do agree Weaver, because he has another year on his deal and it's reasonable and he's been so electric this year, Weaver is probably your #1 trade chip off of this major league part of the roster. Raley will get traded and he'll be desired, but he's a rental. Brazabon, I think, is another guy who could get traded for something of real value. I know he's older, but he's been lights out. So Weaver, Brazabon, Minter could get traded, but he's a rental too. None of the other guys. And then I guess Clay Holmes, to your point. So I think Clay Holmes would be number 1. Weaver, number 2. Maybe Brazoban, number 3. And then a bunch of rental pieces. So it's not like it's that great. Can you explain what Sean Doolittle actually does for the Nats? Is that a common position in other orgs? Maybe we should ask Nasim Nuñez about this because I'm not sure. I know he's a strategist, so he's probably in there on the scouting and the meetings and stuff like that. And I would guess that is the gist of what he does. Help the pitchers prepare for how to get the guys out. Have I heard of Tyrone Guerrero? Of course. He's been around forever. He used to be on the Marlins, and now he's on the Red Sox. Throws 102. Of course. What do I think's up with Bo this year? I think his swing was a little out of whack at the beginning. I think it's an adjustment. I think that I think he's liable to get hot at some point. I don't think his swing's broken. I do think physically it's pretty scary where Bo is right now at his age. Between Beatty and Vientos, who do you think has a better chance of turning it around with a change of scenery? So I'd say Beatty a little bit from a total value perspective because I think his defense can be okay. Being left-handed is usually an asset, and I think he possesses maybe a little better ability to how do I say this? I don't know. I think he can learn a little better, if that makes sense. Mark has better bat, like a more power in his bat, maybe a little better swing, but I think that's it. What do you think about Lindor yelling at the manager not to take up Manaea? I feel like he's showing up the manager a bit to me. I didn't think it was a big deal yesterday. Lindor's a passionate player, but I thought this was much ado about nothing. Interesting that he wanted the veteran to stay in though a little bit. Vientos is going to struggle for playing time on any serious team because the defense has never been there. Agreed. And right now the hitting's not there. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Joey Kirby, we looked at this right at the beginning of the show. Do you see any similarities to Kenley Jansen mechanically, or am I imagining that? Between him and Yasavage? Yes. And if you go look at the arm slot leaderboard, they're both going to be up there, and that's why you're seeing it. Arm angle from the righties on the low end, like on the high end, the highest guys. Trey Savage is 66 degrees. And maybe he doesn't qualify yet, but let's look at Jansen. So 66 degrees is Savage, and Kenley is sitting at 66 degrees. So they're both the 2 highest arm slots in the league, and that's what you're seeing. Big bodies, high slots. So good call there. You're not imagining it at all. Weaver or Holmes would help Chicago. Brazoban, yep, you guys are on it. Peralta feels like a Blue Jay, but I'm a Jay fan, so of course I'd say that. I think he gets traded too, but I don't know where. I'm sure you've talked a lot about Connor Griffin, but your thoughts on his season thus far. I'm so excited about Connor. He's starting to figure it out before he got hurt. We'll see how he looks in this next time through. Teams figured him out pretty quick, and they pitched him in. I think that's the biggest thing. He'll have to adjust to getting pitched in so much, but love the tools. Think he's going to be a super duper star. Durbin over Bregman. I mean, yeah, at the moment. At the moment. All right, we got 5 minutes till Nasim will be here, and we will chat with Bro for a little while once he gets here. I don't know why is my my TikTok stopped again. So annoying. Maybe I'll just let me just redo it. Let me just redo it. Let me just throw it up there again, you know? Hold on. Let me just take a moment to set something up. Let me answer this question while I do this. Jake Bennett has been a nice delight for the Red Sox. What's his upside look like? I think he could be a number 2. I don't think he's going to be a number 1, but I've been wrong before. Number 1, I always hesitate to slap number 1s on people just because he doesn't have like a ton of strikeout rate in his game. Now he might develop into that, but he's such a good command and control and ground ball pitcher, which I love. I think is great. But again, he's not necessarily, he's gonna have to rely a little bit on batted ball luck from time to time. He's not gonna have as many games where he just destroys everybody, which is what you tend to see from the true aces. So it's hard for me to slap a true ace title on Jake Bennett. But I love Jake Bennett. I think he's going to have a really high floor, which I also think is super useful, in life. I would like to have a nice floor if I'm a pitcher, because that means for the most part I'm going to be a little more steady. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to do my thing most of the time pretty well, and when I don't do it well, it's still not going to be as bad as a guy who's going to go out there and walk 5 or 6 guys. That's the thing I like about Jake Bennett. He's got really good command. And I think that's super important, obviously, for long-term success. And now I'm just rambling. All right, 11:58. I'm going to take a quick break here in a minute. And then Nasim's going to come on. We're going to chat with him in a few minutes, for like 20, 30 minutes. And then we'll wrap up the show. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this on mute. And then I will be back with Nasim in a little bit. So stay tuned for the conversation. Oh, damn. I got to move this over. That's super crazy. Okay. All right. Joining us today is Washington National Nasim Nuñez. How you doing, man? Thanks for joining the show today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm chilling.
All right, good. So first thing, I was looking into you a little bit. I've been watching you guys play. First of all, you guys are really electric, and we'll talk about that in a second. It's been intriguing to watch you guys play. this season. But hold on one second. But the first thing I saw in your bio is Bronx, New York. I know that's the original, but how did that start? I'm a New York guy, so Bronx and then eventually to Georgia. So what was the progression with that? How little were you when you left New York?
Yeah, I was only 3. I don't remember too much about first living there, but I would always get sent back in the summers, and I got a couple memories from New York and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like when you're like 3 or 4 years old, it's all just like images. Like you don't really remember like full, events or anything. You're just like, oh, I kind of remember being somewhere, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. I remember moving to Georgia, and then I got sent back to go stay with my grandma. And my aunt took me to the playground, and I remember these kids, they got in a line. It was a ringleader, and then it was his right hand man, and then it was a kid who just like started hanging out with them. I guess they were unsure, but they came over there and they spit on me. They spit on me and they slapped me. Like they could smell the suburban blood, I guess.
Oh my God, they
So
try
then
to punk you. That's crazy.
yeah, I remember, and I was young. I might have been like 5, and I went over there, and I was crying, and I told my aunt, and my aunt was like, "Nah, go back over there and slap him." So then, yeah, that happened. But
That's
that
some New York
was,
stuff right there for sure.
yeah, for sure.
So
That's
grow
like a prime memory for me in New York.
do you ever do you feel the hate when you play the Mets?
No, I love it.
All right,
Cause
good.
now that's kind of like that experience right there was like, yeah, you could say what you want about me, you could do what you want to me, but it's gonna be some consequences about it. So that's how I treat the New York fans. Like, okay, y'all keep talking.
When people chirp you at the field, like obviously in Philly is big or in New York, like do you feel like that helps or hurts you? Do you feel like it fires you up?
It depends on the situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cause sometimes they could be right. So I'll be like, damn. But most of the times they just be talking.
Yeah, totally. I'm with you. I'm the same way. And for me, sometimes when I was younger, it used to annoy me. Like people would chirp me while I'm warming up in the bullpen, and that would be distracting. But then when I got older, I was like, you know what? Like I kind of need this juice. Like I need it. I need it a little bit to get
Yeah.
me going. You know?
It was when we were playing the Phillies. And the tarp people, the tarp guys, the guys who be up there with no shirts, they was chanting Bryce Harper sucks, F Bryce Harper, woody woo, this and that. And he get to second base and he look at me and he just be like, they don't learn. And I was like, no, they don't.
Yeah, because when you've been playing the game for 10 plus years, sometimes you need a little something. You need a little
Yeah.
boost. You know what I'm saying?
So I feel like they do it on purpose. I feel like the fans know they just want to see something majestical happen.
I feel you. I feel you. So
Yeah.
speaking of that, man, I bet you a lot of people, myself included, would not have had the Nationals leading the league in runs scored on their bingo card coming into the season. Obviously, being in that division, I faced you guys a lot the last couple of years of my career. I kind of could see it coming with James. Like I knew how nasty he was at the plate. Gerardo Parra told me he's going to the Hall of Fame. Like literally, like when he first got called up. And we know
I could
about
see that.
yeah, and we know about CJ, and we know about some of the other names, but man, you guys have been doing it a little bit. What do you attribute that to? Do you guys feel like you have some sort of special approach, or it's just like a nice group of guys that know how to pass the baton and grind down some pitching?
Um, Honestly, like with the runs scored, that's how you win ball games. Like that's literally how you're gonna win. You're gonna win by scoring runs and stopping runs. So when you say like people didn't really see it coming, it's like uh, we just want to win. Like we're doing whatever we have to do to win. So each at bat we're going up there. It's just like keep passing the stick, keep passing it. Like let's keep scoring runs, and that's just how it's gonna go. That's just how it's gotta go for us to win. So I seen it coming. I felt like just like you said, we needed that spark or the people talking down or giving us a little bit of power. Like when they showed our record, I was like, man, we not we not sorry like that. Like we're not going for that. So that's just kind of what I see it as.
Yeah, and I also feel like you guys have a little bit of like multiple ways to beat you. You know, I mean, James can hit the ball out of the ballpark, any
Have
ballpark,
to.
and then guys like you have the speed game too, and that's a big part of what you guys do as well. So it's a little bit of a combination of everything that makes it tricky on the other team. Um,
Yeah, it's like a chain link. Everything goes together. Like it has to. Every single person on the team plays their part. And it's also pretty cool. We do a lot of pinch hitting and like stuff like that. And like even the guys that's coming off the bench, like they're locked in and they're doing their part too. Like they helping us score runs as well. So it's pretty cool. Like the offensive game, like I haven't seen professional baseball really be played like that. Like when we were coming up in the minors and stuff, people just getting their reps, getting development in. But now this is like winning baseball, and that's dope to me.
That's what I've been talking to a lot of the young guys about because I'm old, but like when I came up in the minors, we were like really like taught you guys got to win. You guys got to win at every level. We want minor league titles. And yeah, there was player development. There was things like they told me to throw more fastball, stuff like that. But I feel like nowadays when guys come up through the minors, there's so much development, guys working on things, getting their reps in, pitchers going 4 innings at a time, hitters, getting scheduled days off. And then you get to the big leagues and it's like, hey, like you got to find a way to get the W every single night. So it's a little bit of a different, it's a it's a shift. But
Yeah, it is.
what's so impressive is you guys have such a young team though, especially when you have guys that are mixing, matching off the bench to your point. Like there has to be a culture there. There has to be, the guys have to look at themselves as like, oh, I'm going to come in and impact this game when I get my chance. Is that how it feels right now?
Uh, for it's it's kind of crazy. I feel like everybody knows their role. Like, and I think that's what's making it pretty cool. Like, everybody knows their role, and it's like if you don't particularly like the role that you're in, that you're in, work harder so that you could be in a different role that you want to be in. And I feel like there's nobody that's gonna be like mad at anybody for that. Like everybody's ready for their role and they're working to be better. So it works.
How is it with the with Butera as manager? It's probably the youngest manager I've seen in a long time, and you got a pretty young coaching staff in general. But how's he been so far?
I like Blake. I like Blake a lot. He's he's dope. He's like he a real one. Like you could tell he knows the game, and you could tell like if you make a mistake, he doesn't hate you. Like he understands that it's gonna happen, and we talk through everything. Like he's very communicative. That's the word, right? Communicative. I
Com-
don't know. Some
Communicative, yeah, yeah.
communicative. My mom gonna be so mad at me for that. But yeah, we communicate really good, and I like his stoicism. Like I like his demeanor when he's in the dugout. And obviously he's gonna become a better manager as he goes. But for him being in the big leagues for the first time this year, it feels like he's done this before.
Yeah, I saw, you guys had that crazy series recently against the Phillies where they had a bunch of comebacks and there were some heartbreaking losses in there. But then I saw him talking after the game and he was just like, he wasn't beaten down by it. He stayed even keel and he's like, yeah, these things happen. We're on to the next. And
Can't be.
bro, that was
Everything happens
impressive.
for a reason. And
Yeah.
it's cool to see that he knows that. Like everybody's going out there giving their all. Like there's not one person that is. That's what I'm saying too. By like everybody knows their role. There's not one person on the team that is slacking. So therefore, that means we're only gonna get better.
Yeah, that's huge. All right, let's talk base running for a minute because obviously you're one of the best base runners in the whole sport. And there's a lot that goes into it besides just being fast. Like you're really fast. We know that. You're one of the fastest guys in the whole sport, but there's also more than that goes into it. When you're studying pitchers, like you want to steal bases and stuff like that, what kind of things are you looking for? Is it just a math problem, or in this day and age, are you looking for tips or anything you can get?
Nah, I just think that's like it's a God-given gift a little bit. Like I just look at them. Like I just look at the picture and something tells me when to go and when not to go.
So you're saying it's mostly instincts.
hmm
That's interesting. So you've been doing this instinct game probably from a very young age then.
Hold on. Hey, not right now, please. Okay. You were saying yes. For a young age, pretty good. Like, honestly. I'd say the best thing that helped with stealing bases is learning the situations. And a guy named Jody Reed.
I know Jody Reed.
He was a yes, a OG. He was a coach with the Marlins. He sat me down one day and taught me like good times to steal bases and bad times to steal bases. If it's second base, you always want to steal second base. Like you always want to steal second base because that puts you in scoring position.
Yeah.
Like you always want to steal it. Third base, you need to steal third base in certain situations. Like
one out usually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's really it. So I just got to get there.
And then do you study the pitchers at all before, or again it's just all in the moment, or are you getting information from the coaches, or like because
they show videos of like the pitchers wind up and stuff, and it's like a 30-second video, and usually after I see the move one time, that's that instinct like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is what we got.
So then you feel like you can read it from there. There's a question in the chat here. Do you use your arm swinging as a timing mechanism when you're running?
Ooh, I used to do that. I sure did. Whoever asked that's cracked right there.
Yeah, we have a cracked chat.
I like the fingers. I like the fingers.
No, that's good because like I remember back in the day, like people would use different things as timing mechanisms, like whether it's like the old like UCLA, like to try to figure out if the guy's like cadence is the same all the time, or if there's something within their own rhythm. Like you see people doing the vault leads. What's funny, I was the worst ever at holding runners, but when people would do the big vault, I actually felt like that I could handle that. As soon as I waited, I would wait for the dude to jump back, and then I'd throw it home. You know,
it's simple. I can't get into the vaulting to second base. I like the vaulting to third base, but sometimes. But I'm catching myself like feeling like I'm vaulting to third base, but I'm really not. It's just like something to kind of anticipate because second base is a little bit more of an anticipation game. Like you're not stealing third base flat foot for the most part. Like you need to have your feet moving.
Yeah.
I don't know what's the difference between stealing second base and stealing third base because ain't they both 90 feet?
I think the difference is the length of the throw.
The length of the throw?
Couple milliseconds different there because the throw's only 90 feet versus like 120 from catcher. That's the only thing I can come up with.
It's a small difference, but it's a big one.
Yeah.
Like it seems to be a big difference, but it's super small in the grand scheme of things. But it's fun.
I mean,
it's really fun, and putting yourself in certain situations just for like a better chance to score. Like even when I play MLB The Show, like if I'm getting a run on first base, he needs to be at second. I don't even want a chance of a double play. Like I would rather have my batter up there focusing on hitting this ball. Like hit the ball, and if you get a base hit, you just deserved a run, or you got to run for the team.
Yeah, I feel you.
Like you feel me? And then it's like if you strike out, okay, bro, you tried your best. But we do not want double plays.
You see, it's
at least that's how you give yourself another chance, another pass the stick.
It's people like you that why I sucked at the end because everybody's trying to steal second. I'm saying stay there, Stay there, bro, so I can throw a double play ball and then I can get my 2 outs. But
Nah,
you
see,
keep,
it's just like it's like blackjack or whatever. I want the best odds for us to win. And if I stay at first base, your odds are better than ours.
Yeah, it's totally true. All right, a couple more questions in the chat here. Can you ask Nasim what went through his head last night when the umpires lost track of the count?
I was like, no way. I was like, I'm not tripping, but I'm locked in, so I might have got ball 4, but I feel like it's not ball 4. And then they're just like, go to first, just go. I'm like, all right, cool. I
Yeah.
told Corey, I was like, it's not ball 4, bro.
It was
And then I look
Corey
at
Blazer.
him,
Yeah.
Corey Ray, our first
Oh.
base coach.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I look at him and I see Trevor's Story sitting in the dugout. I'm like, bro, that's Trevor's Story. And I was like, what up, Trevor? And I remember that. And I was like, Corey, if like I was so locked in. I had the tunnel for the picture. Now I gotta go back there. And it's not gonna be there.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was still there semi, but no, that was the first time that's ever happened. And it was just like, dang.
Yeah. I mean,
It'd be like that.
you see it.
Control what you could control, right?
That's it. You see it once or twice a year. But I used to do the same thing. I'm
Yeah.
like, isn't it 2-1? Isn't it, don't you have
It
a
was
clicker?
it was that foul ball. He threw a sweeper and it just like caught the back of my bat and it hit down and hit the catcher in the thigh. It almost caught him. But I think he thought that was a ball.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Cause I was like, and then I was like, all right, that's for sure what it was. Had to be.
Yeah. I guess I got a lot on their minds nowadays, trying not to get challenged all the time. Bunch of stuff going on. So
And it's kind of that park is a little weird. Like what I'm noticing at Fenway is like it's so historic and it's just so crazy in Fenway that like your mind can almost drift away from the game. Like because you're just like, wow, like I'm really in Fenway right now.
is this your
Like that it was cool.
this your first time there?
First time sniffing the dirt.
Yeah, for real. Did you
So
sign?
yeah.
Did you sign inside the monster?
Yeah, I did.
All right, good. Got to make sure
I
you
just
hit
don't
it all.
remember. Yeah, I don't remember where I signed, but hopefully one day I leave enough legacy where somebody has to go look for it and they find it.
Ah, there you go. That's something to shoot for right there. 100%.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got here? More stuff in the chat. How is the double plays? Well, how's the relationship with CJ up the middle? What can you tell us about that on defense?
We getting nice with it. I literally just told him that the other day. I was like, it's starting to get better. Honestly. It's getting pretty fun.
Yeah.
So that says a lot for that.
It's just time. It's just time, right? Together, basically. That's it. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's time and we practicing more with each other. So it's like you build a team chemistry.
Yeah, for sure. All right,
Yeah.
last one for you. Second half coming up here. We're right about the halfway point of the season. What are you working
I think
at?
we just passed it.
Yeah, I think we just passed it. Like game 82, 83, something like that.
I know.
I know, because these seasons get long, so you be keeping track.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So what's your mindset for the second half right now individually? Obviously, as a team, you guys want to keep pushing, try to get to the playoffs and all that. But individually, like, what are you working on right now? Like, what's the things you're thinking about right when you go to the ballpark?
Not honestly, it's about like feeling good, like just feeling prepared, like wanting to go to the field, like not getting straight out of bed and dragging to the field, like because those make the days so much harder. Like trying to get up, maybe just breathe a little bit, stretch, like feel good before I get to the field. Like not trying to feel good when I get there, but before I get to the field. That I haven't really done that too often in my professional career. It's maybe been about a year, but I want to start getting more into that going through the second half. And then that All-Star break, taking a nice break. Like, I'm talking get away from the game, reset, because my body and mind are already so developed in it where it's like every day you get better. Every day you get better. So it's a nice reset. And then when we get back, every day you get better. Every day you get better. Like, you just keep it going.
Yeah, that morning stuff is super important. I got way better at that as I got older. Like just getting out of the hotel, walking around a little bit, trying to find a way to like. There's nothing like getting to the
Feel like
field.
a regular person.
Yeah, there's because you think in your head, oh man, if I sleep till noon, then I'm gonna feel refreshed. No, bro, then you're gonna
Nah.
feel like lethargic. It's crazy.
Nah. Yeah. It's a balance. It's for sure hard. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
Because it's really not a lot of stuff to do. Like, you could go on a walk and stuff and see stuff, but I like when I'm with like friends and family and do stuff. Like, it makes time go away. Because sometimes I feel like you go on a walk and then you still think about the game on that walk. So
yeah.
I like doing stuff with friends and family, like goofing around, feeling like my younger self, stuff like that too.
Yeah, got to get it's healthy to get your mind off it too. I mean, shit,
Yeah, you have to.
it's already in
We
there
play
so
baseball,
much.
but we aren't baseball.
Yeah, totally. All right, well, this was cool. This was cool to get to know you a little bit. Appreciate you coming on. Best of luck to you. Best of luck to you and the Nationals the rest of the way. You've been fun to watch, so appreciate you hanging with us today.
Thanks, Adam. Thank you for having me too.
All right, yes, sir. Thanks a lot. All right, that was it. That was Mr. Nuñez. We're gonna go over here and deal with the control room. Hang up on this call right quick, and then get back and finish the show here.
This is pretty dope how y'all set up this podcast stuff.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. I have it so I can look at the iPad and like check stats, but also the Dugout app right here. So I got everything from the games. So that's how we be checking in on everything super speed. I think I just said goodbye to him without realizing. All right, so we are back on the main screen. That was great. He was awesome. What a joy to have him on. You could tell he loves it, and he's also on it trying to learn about how to also get away from it a little bit, which is super important as you move forward. So anyway, Nasim was great. That was cool. We had guests back-to-back days, Shane Green and Nasim Nuñez. So big thanks to Nasim for coming through, hanging with us for about 20, 25 minutes. And let's jump into probables for today, and then we'll say goodbye. And then today I go to France versus Sweden in a couple hours, and then I go tomorrow to Milwaukee for ESPN. We'll see about a stream tomorrow. I may or may not stream. If not, I'll definitely stream on Thursday. So just stay tuned on that information as I get it. But anyway, here's Nasim. I didn't want to talk to him much about anything negative, obviously, but his base running is amazing. He's literally 100th percentile in base running value. And obviously he's talking about how it's all instincts. So pretty cool. Instinctual, obviously the speed doesn't hurt. I could have all the instincts in the world, but my slow ass wasn't going anywhere. So let's hit probables for today. All right, here are the matchups today, folks. We have White Sox at Orioles, Fetty and Trey Gibson. Rangers at Guardians, Jacob deGrom, Tanner Bybee, and a pretty solid matchup there in Cleveland. Pirates, Phillies, Bubba Chandler, Christopher Sanchez. A young guy and a top of the league vet who is looking to get back with another quality start. Tigers, Yankees, Skubal Schlittler. Wow. Who knew that this matchup was coming tonight? So Skubal looking to get back on the horse. He hasn't pitched. Well, I would say he hasn't gotten great results since he's been back. Strikeout to walk ratio is still tremendous. Everything looks the same in his profile, but he's gotten clipped a few times, including versus these Yankees. So let's see how he looks tonight versus Schlittler. Mets, Jays, McLean, Gosman. This is another fun one. Really good matchup here. Nats, Red Sox, Cavalli, Connolly, Early. Cardinals, Braves, Liberatore, Martin Perez. Rays, Royals, Griffin Jacks, Noah Cameron. Reds, Brewers, Rhett Lauder, Brandon Sproat. And I'll do the game tomorrow night. Padres, Cubs, JP Sears, Matthew Boyd. Hold on. Twins, Astros, Joe Ryan, Mike Burrows. Marlins, Rockies, Yuri Perez, Tanner Gordon. Dodgers, A's, Justin Robleski, and Jeffrey Springs. Angels, Mariners, Soriano, Brian Wu, and both of these guys actually looking for a better results than they've had lately. Giants, Diamondbacks, Landon Roop, and TBA. So that's the matchups for today. You can catch me on MLB Now in about 10 minutes, 10 to 13 minutes. I'll be talking a couple topics on there, and then I will see you guys tomorrow, either tomorrow or Thursday. We'll see about tomorrow, because I had to change my flight to a morning flight, so it's a little bit iffy tomorrow, but we'll see. If not, Thursday. Anyway, thanks to Nasim, Nuñez, and for everybody else. That's it. Appreciate you guys hanging with me today, and I'll see you on the next stream. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Have a wonderful, what is today? Tuesday. All right. See you later. Bye-bye.